Hello, everybody. I am Sun Psychic Jean, and happy Valentine's Day. Please welcome my very special co host today is Daphne from Relax with Daphne. Hello,
Hello,
Daphne.
everyone. Hello, hello. So glad to be here with you, Jean, and with your community. What a wonderful assortment of friendly, interesting characters, right? They always, uh, they always bring us some excellent questions.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a really great community, and you are an important part of it. And I
Thank you.
love getting together and hanging out with you. You never know what's going to come when Daphne comes a knocking, right?
That is true. And today, one of my most favorite topics, something very, very close to my heart. And it was inspired by the title that you chose for our talk today, which is Big Shift Happening Now. And this is something, I mean, I just get chills reading that title because the message that my guides brought to me to share with you all today is something that can literally change your life if you allow it. This is what happened to me. I'm going to tell you everything that I'm sharing today is something I have personally experienced. And it is the source of so much happiness and comfort and peace in my life. So I thought, what better day to share this than on Valentine's Day?
Aw, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So I just want to say hello to a couple of you that are here. Hello, Miss Bringing It 41. You're Johnny on the spot, on time. I love when people are on time. And Just Visiting is here. Whoa, that's Relaxed with Daphne. I was reading. And Candy B is here. Tiffany Tisdale. I am Irma.
Irma.
And Lois T. Hi, Lois T. And Samantha is here, and Candy B, and all of you guys. And thanks for saying
Yay.
happy Valentine's Day. So cute. I know, right? Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And Carrie V is here. Hi, Carrie. So nice to see you. So I am looking forward to hanging out and talking a little bit about the shift. And Daphne, did you want to share your thoughts, or do you want to go into the slides and then we can talk about it after?
Uh, well, I do. Before we put up the slides, and I think we should just dive in, I want to say that you're probably seeing a lot of YouTubers talking about the shift, whether it's from astrology, whether it's like social movements, the general energy that is changing. Also, we're going out of the Chinese year of the snake, going into the year of the fire horse. And there are a lot of people talking about the shift from a lot of different directions. And my feeling is that there are energies definitely that happen in the world around us that affect all of us. But I am really big on co-creating with the universe, right? Co-creating the experience that we have, because just like everything, just like money or pain or happiness, it's not evenly distributed. Not everybody's having the same experience at the same time, right? And there's a lot of personal reasons for it. There's a lot of societal reasons for it, but we have the biggest shift that I've seen is that since 2012, it's like the doors have been blown open or the gates have been thrown wide. Humans have greater access to the energy behind the universe than we have ever had in known history. I won't say ever because I think there are a lot of iterations of the human experience. The one we're in now, we have never had this kind of access. Right. And I know that your audience knows about this because they are attracted to the discussions about using your intuition, practicing mediumship, working with tarot cards and other divination tools. That is part of it. But what we really have an opportunity to do is co-create our personal growth path through this life with the universe. And I have oversimplified a bunch of physics terms in my slides today, but the message is the same. Scientists are echoing messages that the wisdom of the ages has presented us over and over. Change your mind, change your life, right? And step into a relationship with the divine and watch miracles happen. And because we are co-creating with the universe and with what I specifically call out today the quantum field, we have an opportunity for unprecedented opportunities for play, right? We can play with this energy. We can step into a loving and fun relationship with the quantum field. And I have been working on this. I've been working with this energy for at least 6 years. And before that, I read a lot about it and thought a lot about it. But I'm going to talk specifically about how you can actively make this shift in your personal life. Mm-hmm. So let's start with an oversimplified slide about the brain. Okay, so we are still understanding who and what we are as human beings, right? And right now, scientists are arguing whether we have 6,000 thoughts a day or whether we have 60,000 thoughts a day. And, science chips away at things. And sometimes at the end of an experiment, all they have are better questions to ask next time around. And that's why it's always evolving. It's not that we can't trust what scientists say. What we learned in high school or college probably has been updated since then. And that's okay. That's as it should be, because as we get better experiments, we get better tools to measure things should change, right? But right now let's work with just the idea that you probably have 6 thoughts per minute going through your brain. A lot of them are not original, right? We have very few original thoughts. We have a lot of loops. We have a lot of scripts. We have a lot of patterns that we have developed. And thank goodness, because do you really want to consciously figure out how to make coffee every morning? No, you want to be able to do that on autopilot. But the problem is that 80% of that or so, they estimate, is negative. It's saying bad things to ourselves. And that hurts, and that keeps us stuck, and it keeps us thinking that there's no hope. It keeps us accepting situations that we should not accept, right? And I won't elaborate, because what is in your life that you want to change. And that's the shift that we're going to talk about. Let's go to the next slide, Jean.
Interesting. How do I...
slide, it should say slide 2. Yeah. So your brain is not your mind. And human consciousness is not confined to our skulls. And we know that because Jean can sit at her desk, wherever she is, and connect with your loved one on the other side. Consciousness is non-local and transcends the physical body. Okay, they just gave me chills. So I hope whoever needed to hear that is hearing it. And the thoughts that we have are spilling out of our brains and our bodies, because it's not just your brain that has neurons. Your heart has a lot of neuron activity as well. And your thoughts fill your biofield. And that is a term that I use as an energy medicine practitioner to encompass everything about the human body, not just the physical body, but the electrical body, the emotional body, the energetic body. And let's go to the next slide. So we're not just our brain, we're not just our mind, we are filling our auras, which is the ancient word for biofield, with thoughts and emotions that are energy pulses. And we can't stop. It's very difficult to not think, right? We have those 6 minutes, those 6 thoughts that are clicking through on every minute. It's very hard. People practice their whole lives to be able to calm their thoughts, right? And what is irresponsible of us is we don't even know that we are broadcasting that. So it's leaving what we consider our body, going into our aura, and then it's going out beyond that. And again, this is the underpinning of our intuitive gifts and our clairs. You are broadcasting and we can pick it up. I'm broadcasting and Jean can pick it up. Right? This is how you walk into a room and you know that the people in the room have been arguing, right? Or that they are flirting, right? You can feel that energy. And that's because we are beaming out everything we think and feel into the quantum field. So let's go to the next slide and talk about the quantum field. This is essentially everything, right? This is the energetic field in which we live and have our being. And in the past 6 years, as I have meditated daily and sometimes multiple times daily with the quantum field, trying to make that connection and to work with that energy, these are my conclusions. I don't know that you can find a scientist out there who will agree with me. Some, maybe, but I will tell you that I believe that the quantum field is sentient. It thinks. It is highly responsive to me. It mirrors my thoughts. And it is bloody literal, right? So if I am thinking, oh my God, that person's going to do this. Oh my God, this person's going to do this over and over again. Oh my God, that person does that, right? And it's not necessarily psychic. It's me putting that energy out in there and they, not aware that I'm beaming and transmitting, they allow that transmission in and they thoughtlessly act upon it, right? And you could see this in a lot of different aspects of our life. Like you decide you want to buy a white SUV of a certain brand. And then all of a sudden, everywhere you go, you see that white SUV that you're considering, right? We've all had these experiences where the world mirrors our thoughts. And we have an even more somewhat alarming example of that in the algorithms on social media and the internet. Mm-hmm. You're thinking about, talking about, clicking on, and then all of a sudden your feed is filled with that information. Okay. So, for years, I've thought of computers as a way for us to have a reflection of our internal hardwiring. Like we are already hardwired for mental telepathy, but now we've taken our thoughts and we put them into this electronic environment and we're able to, without a word, communicate with anyone on the planet at any time, right? So this is something we're hardwired to do. We're fumbling our way towards being totally telepathic. A lot of things have to be changed in how we think of ourselves before we're ready to do that. But everything we put out into the quantum field is reflected back to us. And this is why your intentions and your thoughts are so important, because you are literally shaping the response to you from the quantum field. So let's go to the 5th slide here. And this is the whole point of our talk today. You can personally make this shift work for you. The big shift, the big energies that are happening to all of us on the planet, we can mirror that in our own lives by deciding that we are going to experience reality differently. And this is not like dissociating and ignoring what's really happening around you. That's not what this is. This is being present, understanding your own thoughts, and choosing your thoughts. I mean, we've all heard the saying, choose your words carefully. I say we have to also choose our thoughts carefully, right? We have to be smart. We have to use our discernment. There are real threats out there. And we can also, most of us have the opportunity to shift away from 80% thinking negative things to 50-50, Maybe we could think 80% good thoughts and leave that 20% to acknowledge the reality out there, right? We live in an age of scammers, so we cannot just set aside our discernment. But I guarantee you, if you make this shift internally, you are going to see a response from the quantum field. And today, since we're talking about love and Valentine's Day, let's pop into slide 6. You can shift into love, right? Like, it doesn't matter if you have a partner or no partner. It doesn't matter if you have a partner you don't feel love for, or a partner you love but doesn't love you. It doesn't matter what situation you are in. You can choose to respond to the quantum field with love. And you can beam love out. And that's what's going to get reflected back to you. And I've practiced this on the job before, right? Like, they say things like, oh, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. This is the same exact thing. Prepare yourself for that love. Be that love. Be in love with yourself and your life and this loving relationship with the quantum field. Then surrounding yourself with that energy, then those people are going to start to show up in your life in divine timing. Right? And never in the form we expect. Like, my husband, we're getting ready to celebrate our 30th wedding anniversary. The universe totally delivered. They exceeded all my expectations. They had everything on my list and more. I could not have asked for a better partner in this life. And that was because I opened my heart and said, okay, I will work with this energy and bring him in. And that's what happened. And it's not manifesting per se. It's more co-creating with spirit. And spirit, I think, is indistinguishable from the quantum field. And my experience with these meditations is that it is loving. This energy of the quantum field is very loving, very responsive, and also very respectful of our free will. So if we decide we want to go against the energy of spirit and choose something else for ourselves, they're like, okay, you ordered up this? Sure, here you go, right? You're going into a job interview and 80% of your thoughts are, I'm not going to get it. I'm not good enough. I'm not qualified. That energy is being beamed out to the interviewer, right? And the universe is like, well, this must be what she wants. She doesn't want that job. So we have an opportunity to shift our thinking and to just shift our energy into love by choosing to think about love and to develop that loving co-creation relationship with the quantum field. And I'll just say one thing further on this is that in one of my meditations, I was asking the question, how do I know when I ask for something that it's going to come? And they gave me sort of a menu of responses that they give me. And sometimes in those meditations, for instance, the first time I heard this, we were meditating for someone to get a job. Before his interview, he was going to go into this interview. And as soon as I dropped into the meditation, I heard what sounded to me like factory machinery starting up and then a conveyor belt starting up. So that is the symbol that they've given me for that. You've placed your order, it's on the way.
Oh.
And I know that when I have meditated on, okay, well, how do I know what to ask for? How do I develop my discernment? And they showed me taking energy from different sources and weaving it into like a golden pathway for myself. And the pathway was essentially what they were communicating to me is that when I want what spirit wants for me, it will happen instantaneously. So yes, we have free will. Yes, we have control over our thoughts. We can work with our thoughts. And spirit wants the best for us. And when you hear that, you might hear that phrase that the universe is conspiring in your favor. My observation is that is 100% true. And as you can see, I'm very passionate about this. It's very interesting to me that we have so much choice and opportunity. And I spend a lot of my time encouraging people to try out this approach to working with energy. So
that was so beautiful, so very beautifully done. Thank you very much for that. And before we go on to the last, I just wanted to maybe make some comments about that. And a lot of people are familiar with the law of attraction. and that is be what it is that you seek and match the vibration of, you know, uh, what it is that you'd like to achieve or, um, become. And your choice is the most powerful because we have free will. Our choice is more powerful than the universe. So we need to take action and make that choice that we're going to get the job, that we want to be happy in a job, that we're going to be fulfilled in a job, whether it's that job or a different job. It's, other people are involved and other choices are involved. But if we make a choice that no matter what happens, I'm going to achieve this goal of mine and be happy and allow for whatever it is that comes back to us as as uh as a be grateful for it. And
Yeah.
somebody said, I read once, that if you pray for flowers or if you want to manifest flowers, don't be disappointed when the rain comes, because the rain is part of it. It's all in the divine timing. It's all orchestrated, and it's important to see that there is a progress, there is a development, there is a it's not an instantaneous wish and command kind of thing. It's about it is a little bit about putting in your order, but it's about believing that it will become and allowing for that divine timing to occur. It's not wishful thinking. It's not sticking your head in the sand. It's not, what did they call it? Magical thinking and stuff like that. It's about be having the vibration and the frequency, the confidence, um, that this is achievable for you, this or something more, this or something better, and that when we trust, trust is so very important, because we can control, and then we can think, well, I'm gonna make it to $100,000. I'm gonna make it to, but if we let go of control, we could far exceed that. This or something better. So it's important for us to try and allow for the uncertainty to come through, because that is truly where the magic is. And I know I said the choice, but once we make our choice, we let it go. We let go of how. We let go of our expectations. We say this or something better, and then we trust. So it's about choice and then trust. And it's all an energy. And I know you guys all already know this. And it's just a little bit of a renewed reminder that in this shift, in this energy, there is a palpable force that is changing and shifting. And if we can all decide right here, right now, that we are going to make this decision for ourselves, and this renewal of ourselves, this uh, connection to our higher selves, it's we have that much more energy to that is amplified within not only us, but once we do this with us, it'll ripple out to all of humanity. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear or to see what transpires for everybody, and myself included, and you too, Daphne. And we've all grown here together. I see a lot of you too that have come here, and how much you've grown and how much you've, um, established a new way, a new pattern.
Yes.
Understanding that self love is so very strong, and um, it gives us an ability. This self love is our ability. It enables in ability. I'm trying not to say the power word, because power has like
Yeah.
a overwhelming kind of a feeling. But
Yeah.
it is our ability, our choice, our free will, and all of this is really about doing the work and changing our own mindset. And I've said it many, many times, so I won't keep saying it. But yeah, it's
See,
important.
that's why Spirit wanted me to have this conversation with you, because you are living it. You are living this work, and um, it's um, it's one of those things where you start within. It's totally within your control what thoughts you think. And I spent at least a year looking at my thoughts. You can step aside and be a silent observer and watch your thoughts go by. And there were some days where not a single thought was my own. It was something someone had said to me, something my well-meaning, loving parents had said to me, but landed differently for me, right? Or it's a message that I got from TV or advertising. And once you declutter all that external chatter, what's left is that pure spark that you can't help feel love for, because love is essentially the fabric of the universe, the fabric of the quantum field. And when you align with that energy, there's no limits to what you can do. And it's not power. I agree with you in that power is a weird word to use right now. It's not that. It is fully expressing who you are. Oh, there's a comment from Irma. I would love to. Do you see that? It's at 11:23. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm not saying anything new, Irma. Thank you. The way you explained it really helps me understand it in a deeper way. Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah. This is nothing new. I mean, you can read ancient poetry. You can read the New Testament. My favorite part of the Christian Bible is where Jesus says, everything I've done, you can do too. We've always had these abilities. We've always had the opportunity to love ourselves and fully love the world. Even things that are disappointing on that spectrum, all the way from disappointing to terrifying, there is an opportunity to transmute that energy with the energy of love. There's nothing more powerful. But as you said, you have to start with yourself.
Mm-hmm. And it's about retraining your mind. And whenever you think, oh, I can't do that, or I'll never be able to, it's about switching the language. It's about switching the words. And Abraham Hicks is really good with this. And there's just so many teachers out there that have the ability to help us to reframe what it is that we want to say. I'll do better tomorrow. I will try. I will do my best and do better tomorrow. I will continue to, instead of saying I can't, or I'll try, or that I'll never be able to. It's a self-prophesizing, and it really makes a difference. If you say I'll never be able to do that, that's so hard. Well, guess what? You're right. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And it really is, and it is that important, that the way that we think and the way that we say things. And it's about our the examples of people around us that show us how to speak. And it's also not being corrected or being told, oh, that's not true. You certainly can, you know? And it may take a different way of looking at it, a different way of phrasing it, or a different action, or maybe assistance, but you can. We all can. And it's possible for everybody. It certainly is. And it's about changing those little can't to can, the ability, and changing the little words, changing the self-talk, and it'll help. You'll feel lighter, you'll feel more relaxed, you'll feel more at ease, you'll be able to go with the flow. I didn't make it today, I'll try again tomorrow. It's okay. And one of the um, one of the most detrimental in my field is when people say, um, "Don't don't drive too fast, or you might die. Don't run out in the street, you might die." Like, and or don't jump off the high cliff, you might die. And it's as if dying is the worst punishment that we could ever experience. Like, it's always a threat. And people are so people all the time. How many people do I read mediumship for, and their loved ones, and people on their deathbeds? They are frightened because they've always been threatened with "Don't do this, or you might die, or you can die," as if it's the worst thing. And what if we would have just said it wouldn't be in your optimal health to do that? But it's that threat, and then it gives us this fear, the threat and the fear, but it's all false. The threat is false and the fear is false. And it doesn't have power unless we give it power. So it's really important. I always like to try and tell people that we don't die, first of all, and it's not horrible. It's a new birth. Would you threaten a baby coming out of somebody's womb? You better watch out. Like, no, it's a rebirth. It's a rebirth. And
Yes.
it's about what we've been taught. So the things that we've been taught and the language that we've heard and the threats against doing this or doing that, it's all about patterns that we've listened to, that we've been exposed to, that we've lived with, that it comes through our ancestry. And this is the time that we're all here to change that for all of humanity, so that all of humanity has the power and the ability and the manifestation and the magic to make it what we want, what is natural for us to express. And this is why we're all here together. You change you, I change me, and we all change together. And if there's anything that is certain in this world, is that we will change. Things will
Yes.
change. It's the astrological lineup always teaches me that, because there's always transits and they're always moving. This too shall pass. So one thing is for sure, things will constantly change. It's not, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And, we've used a lot of scientific terms. We've used a lot of spiritual terms to talk about this. And I want to offer a very practical way to think about this. Like, if you close your eyes and you say, I should go to the gym, feel the energy of that. I should go to the gym. When I say that, my energy goes down. And it feels empty and thin, right? And then when I say I could go to the gym, that energy feels juicy and it feels uplifting and positive, right? So I started my thought experiment about shifting my energy by switching. Every time I would say should to myself or others, I replaced it with the word could. And just how you were talking about can't, won't, don't, etc. This is an easy one to shift because you're just shifting one sound. I could go to the gym. I could do the dishes. I could do the laundry. I could get that job. I could go on that trip, right? It's that word could is very sneaky because it is, especially when you're applying it in the positive way, it opens doors and opens possibilities. Like, okay, 5 years ago, did I ever think that I would be on YouTube giving people advice about their biofield? No, but I could do that. And here I am, right? So I would love people to just make that just try it out for one day. Take every time you're going to say should to yourself, say could. See what happens to your energy. Mm-hmm. And before we move on from this, I do want to point out that these are experiments, right? So you can, if you are a type of person who likes to keep a journal like me, I write down my energy experiments and I see how effective it was, how long did it take, what was the outcome. And sometimes you'll decide that you want to choose something, that you could do something or other, and then you lose interest. So what? Move on. Think of something else. And forcing ourselves to be this aspirational person never works. But if we allow ourselves to co-create with the quantum field, it is amazing what can happen. And it'll be perfectly customized just for you.
Absolutely. And Candy B says it's all about the right timing, because I've learned and understand so much in the last few minutes than in years. Oh,
Yeah. I mean, when you are ready, it shows up, right? So that
Exactly.
absolutely we have to just accept that divine timing. And, Jean, you and I know that our spirit guides are helping us every step of the way. And we can't always discern the right timing, and we can't always be patient, right? We don't want to be patient. We want it
Oh,
now. And yet, if we get it now, it's not going to be the same as if we allow it to mature. So that's why I use the word co-create, because it's not all on our shoulders. We don't have the total responsibility for fulfilling our life plan, our soul's progress, right? We have a lot of help.
hmm. Yeah. And yeah, I was just thinking that our spirit guides, um, I felt compelled. I certainly did. I felt driven, compelled. And when I try and go like back or try and deviate off of my path and do something a little easier, no, they push me back in there. Nope, nope, that's where you're going. That's where, well, I kind of wanted to do a little more of this. Nope, nope, you're going back. You're going back. And
Yeah.
the passion and I feel I just, you know, why I put myself through certain things is because I feel led to. But, if I thought about myself, I would much rather, do something else or spend my time in a different way. But I know that my soul is
Yeah.
here to help to share what I know with others and to share this time and to help others' energy, to get together with others' energy. And this is really important for some reason. And I think that at this time in history, this is the important reason. I know that I'm here, right now. I've had all of these years to practice and to be here right now. And there's going to be such an onslaught of new people, newly awakened humanity that is going to be coming into this chat, and they're going to be saying, what's going on here? Who can tell me who this lady is? And why do I resonate with everything she's saying? And all of you are going to be teachers for others and show them the way and tell them what you've learned and how you were this way at one time. And now you understand it this way. All of us are going to become teachers. It's about turning around and helping the next person up, because we're all changing, we're all rising, we're all shifting into a new frequency and vibration, if you will. There's like a reascending, is what they call it. It's all about awakening, awareness, reality. No more veils, no more illusions, and could be much, much more. But it's really exciting. It's not, and it's about our own choice too. We have choice in it, and some people will choose just to ignore it, and that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. And what we're talking about, this shift, is really a shift in identity, isn't it? You go from thinking I'm a person who can't do that to I'm a person who can do that, and who is capable, and who can, uh, master these things I've been thinking about for a long time, but now's the time. Now's the time to shift your identity. And what I like about that is, yes, the year of the fire horse and the astrology and the shifts are happening planetarily. Yeah, but what about you? And what about your life? What shifts are you going to be in charge of? What energy are you going to immerse yourself in? I know for me, I have always had a writing practice, right? And the shifts that are happening to me is that I am being a lot more public about my work. I've written 1 million words and have hardly ever let anyone else read my stuff. But guess what? That is shifting. And if you could put up that last slide, I have contributed a story to an anthology with a writing group that does this kind of quantum field intentional work. And I wrote a story about tarot cards and mediumship, and it's in this book, which I am going to launch on Irish Granny Helen's channel sometime next week. We're recording it tomorrow. I don't know when it'll be available, but I wanted to give you guys a little sneak peek because part
Wow.
of the shift in my identity is being a published author. And I have two more books coming out earlier in the first half of 2026. So you'll hear more about it as
Are
time
they
passes.
anthologies as well, or are they
No,
solo?
this is an anthology, and I have a nonfiction book about this type of meditation that I do, and then the third one is a novel, and
Wow.
I'll tell you more about it next time we're all together.
Yeah, everybody, please do make sure you are subscribed to at Relax with Daphne so that you will be notified and she will let us know when that show with Irish Granny Helen is going to air. And Helen reads the story and then gives a synopsis and also interviews the author. So it's going to be phenomenal. I just can't wait.
Thank
Aw,
you. Thank you so
just
much.
congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, I've written a lot of stuff, and it's a way that I have explored my intuition. Like in 2014 and 2015, I was compelled to write a story about the world in which California was no longer part of the United States, and Congress had become irrelevant, and there were offshore prisons. I mean, I just wrote this. This whole story came flooding out of me, and then I wrote stories about working with witchcraft and working with tarot cards and making spells. And then I wrote another story about just using energy to manifest stuff, right? So I'm writing all this stuff and I'm looking at it. I'm like, that's not the story I wanted to write. I didn't want to write about this. And yet that's what Spirit gave me. So the two books that I have coming out later this year, both of them are spirit delivered. And then the book after that is working with the plants and all the messages from the plants. So they've, just like I said, just like you were saying, every time you get off path, they bring you back to this. Every time I want to do something else, they're like, yeah, but what about that book? so,
Wow.
so I stopped saying I should write, and now I say I could write, and it's happening.
Wow. Wow, I
So,
didn't know. I didn't know. So they keep steering you back to the book. And not only that, Daphne, but I hear that from a lot of people that it's important. They feel like they should or could write a book
mhm,
and but they've never written anything before. But it's there's not going to be enough. There's not too many. And it's really important that each of us has our own unique perspective on what it is that we're going through, what it is that we evaluate and can see for ourselves, and what it looks like to us, how you manage, how you see it, how it changed for your life, how it changed for my life, how it changed for others' lives. It's really important. It's going to go down into the history as a chronicle of what it was that we were thinking, feeling, and how we made it through, what it was to be incarnate when humanity's frequency changed into crystalline. Now, we're not going to wake up one day and be crystalline. We're moving towards that. Things are shifting, that we're moving towards that. And it has not happened while humanity was incarnate. Usually
yeah,
there's a big flood or dinosaurs or something that wipes out all of humanity down to a very few, and then we start over again. Well, this time there's so many light workers here. There's so many old souls that have had lifetimes on different planets, in many different lifetimes. A lot of, I think, ascended masters are here in this world. A lot of off planet beings are here in this world to help hold the light, hold the frequency, raise your vibration, and believe and trust, and all of these high vibrational, positive kind of emotions and thoughts and feelings to help raise the vibration to pull us through. And we all see that things are being destroyed and breaking down and being revealed about all of the uh, corruption or greed and
yeah,
we all know that how certain industries are scams and things, and they're not life affirming, and they're not good for they're not for the greater good. They're for a few, not for all. And we're moving away from that. That's why we can see it now. That's why it's all being revealed. That's why it's, you know, um, that's why it's falling apart because it's not sustainable for everybody. It really isn't. And we're here to help usher the new world, the new humanity, the new vibration, the new community-based, life-affirming reality and humanity in forward. And they say that a lot of the children that are born in the last 10 to 20 years have already had that little shift. But we're in my generation, we have the crystalline in our, I don't like to say DNA because I don't know enough of it, but in our essence, in our energy, there is a crystalline activation that comes on that helps us to evolve, and less dense and more light. And the new ones, the younger ones coming in, already have that capacity and that ability to have vision and to see through things. But Daphne, you were talking about telepathy, and I feel that
Yes.
there will not be, you will not have the ability to deceive, to be deceptive, and that's why lies are so blatant and so blaring
Yeah.
and so every day people are just, it's just terrible because it's all coming out. It's got to end. It's got to come out into the light. It's got to be seen. It's got to end. And it's all it's not sustainable. And it really is. It looks bad, and it's going to be not pretty to, you know, to witness, but we need to be the witness so that we can see.
Yeah.
But it's important to also write your own story. Write a journal, if you don't want to write a book. Do videos. I mean, these videos are chronicling my evolution as well. If you go back 5 years and check me out, you'd be like, wow.
The tools get better. And, if you are drawn to write, there's never been a better time to write in history. Never. The gatekeepers are no longer in charge of every book that comes out. And you also have a responsibility to make it the highest quality, to serve the story and serve your readers, right? So with great responsibility or great power comes that great responsibility. But anything you do, even if you just sit at home and think loving thoughts, you are contributing to the light in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all about trust, allowing, listening. And Daphne, you were talking about when you would meditate and how you would slow down those negative thoughts. I was really surprised that you said 80% of the
Yeah,
typical human's thoughts are negative thoughts, or
yeah,
doubts or
yeah,
fears and repetitive, you
yeah.
know. Am I going to get on? Am I going to catch the bus? Am I going to be too late? Or it's not even
Mhm.
am I? It's very fear based.
It
Um,
it is. And in fact, one of my most repetitive thoughts was, this sucks. Right? So I had to make sure my life didn't suck.
right. Words are so powerful. Thoughts are
Yes.
so powerful. They really do create the energy that's around us. And it's not about bypassing. It's not about pretending. It's about just
Yes.
shifting what you're saying into a different vehicle, into a different manifestation, into a different delivery, and it
Yes.
does come out differently. I don't have my Dr. Hawkins um, chart, but I wish I did because it does. And I think that you guys, if you ever watched any of my shows, I don't know, I might be able to look it up. Do you have it one quick second? Because I think and of course, I do have a file called Ascension, which it should be here. Here it is, Map of Consciousness. Whoop, whoop. And And you guys will remember. You're like, "Oh, yeah, Jean, I remember you said that before." Let me pop this. Oh, I almost did the wrong thing. I almost left you guys. It's funny. I hit the red button. Okay, this is David
Mm.
Hawking's uh, map of consciousness. And you see, like down here, shame, guilt, grief, fear is really all of this. And shame is the lowest. And shame, we have control over how much shame we put on ourselves, right? Guilt is we control that. Grief is not controllable, but it is a very lower vibrational energy. Um, fear, anger, you would think that fear would be low, but look at pride. Look how low pride is. Wow. Neutrality is all the way up here just to be neutral. This is neutrality. And this is trusting, but it's all the way up here. Willingness, acceptance, reasoning, love. You would think love is the highest vibration, but it's not. It's peace and enlightenment.
Yeah.
It's that contentment. It's all of these together. That's why they say follow your joy. Follow your joy. And the peace and contentment with enlightenment will all be there. It's not life has ups and downs. Life is it's about where you rest. It's about, you could be angry because somebody cut you off, and then you could be angry because somebody cut you off. Sorry, I was pointing and I didn't realize you didn't see me. um and then you'll be back home and you'll be like, oh, my puppy's so cute. But you won't be like angry and kick the puppy. You won't hang on to that anger and then live that anger and say this life sucks. To stay in that anger, it's okay to feel your feelings. It's just not staying there. It's not living from that point or from that position. Look at this: acceptance, forgiveness, harmonious transcendence. Um,
Yeah.
it's very powerful.
And all of those places on that chart appear, they manifest physically in your biofield, right? Like, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Heart Math Institute. They have proven that the heart sends out energy and generally around 3 feet around the physical body. You can feel the heart's energy. And when you shift from anger into generosity, for instance, your heart it becomes coherent, right? Your variable heart rate changes, your breathing changes, you shift the state of your nervous system, right? So there are a lot of physical benefits to developing peace of mind and to shifting into love and joy and enlightenment. I mean, is that one of the achievable states? What's what we're shooting for? But
I think it is.
in the meantime, we can choose to be loving and kind.
We can tap into it though, Daphne.
Yeah,
We can touch it. We may not be able to live from that, because I think if we would be in the higher realms.
yeah,
So live from the enlightenment, but we can touch it. We can find it. We can feel that euphoric feeling. We can feel that beyond unconditional love and joy and peace kind of feeling. We can touch it. We can experience it. And if you've ever met an angel or a spirit guide in a meditation, that the energy was just so overwhelming that you just had to start crying, and the energy enveloping you, and the feeling that everything's going to be okay, and it is an energetic shift that you feel. That's how I feel like I can touch that enlightenment, and it's
yeah.
momentary, but I can touch it.
I bet everybody here has had that moment. Like the first time I consciously recall being in that energy, I was about 2.5. And
Wow.
For a long time, I didn't understand what or who I was connecting to. And it was now when I go back and relive that memory, relive that feeling, I recognize the energy of the plants. So I have been meditating with plants in a very loving relationship since I was about 2.5. And yeah, it's time to start talking about that with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll talk about it every single day. I only just recently met, I mean, these, you cannot see them. My whole window is filled with plants, but might be able to see them in the evening when the sun goes down.
yeah,
But I'm telling you, I have things hanging from here. You can't see it at all. You can see some of these little
yeah.
figurines, but so I have plants there and they talk to me all the time. And I've only really recently met a tree that talked back to me and was able to understand the communication that's possible with plants and your food
Yes,
too. I mean, how important is your food
yes,
and
yeah.
water?
Yes, yes, you can definitely have a conversation with water. I mean, everything is energy, and energy is everything, right? That's what we're talking about here today. We're shifting the energy and focusing on making that loving connection to energies around us. And for me, that's the most satisfying way to work is with the plants. But I also love working with crystals. I love working with the elements, and there are a lot of forms of consciousness on this planet that people don't necessarily want to acknowledge, and yet they're willing to talk to us when we are in control of our thoughts, right? Like when we're in fear, we are inherently violent, and why should they talk to us? Right? So,
Hmm.
so lifting that vibrational state, focusing on being loving and open. And I'm not surprised that pride is a lower energy because that it's an isolating energy, right?
Mm,
You're not in relationship, you're not in communication when you are all about your pride.
mm, hmm.
And yeah, so we have a lot of work to do before we can be fully in relationship with nature and with other energetic beings on the planet and off the planet. But um, I mean, there's the pathway is clear, and we can go as far as we want, as far as we're capable of doing in this lifetime.
And
So
it's all about teaching us who we are and the and what our ability is and that there are no bounds to who we are and the
yeah,
miraculous part of this soul living in this human container. And I'll never forget when the flower came up and I was talking to the flower. We were doing a meditation with Daphne, and the flower was meeting me and showing me, like, I am nature, I'm nature's creation, and I acknowledge the part of you that is also nature's creation. And it just about made me cry. I'm like, oh, and it made me realize that I'm nature's creation, just like the flower is a creation of nature. And it met me on that level and matched and mirrored my the part of me that is a creation of nature and met me there. And it was so profound, and I never ever thought of myself as a creation of nature. And
yes,
nature is such a powerful force. It is we are of the earth, not on the earth. We are of the earth. And it brought me down to that granular awareness and the love and the connection that I had with this beautiful flower essence, this energy, this consciousness of the flower, and how it met me with such grace and gentleness. And I'll never forget it. I will never forget it. I was changed. It was just it's lovely. And
well,
I'll come on if you want to talk about flowers all the time or
yes,
connection to plants. Let's do it because you know
yeah,
me. I It's an amazing opportunity. It's amazing uh, experience and opens up our awareness and it changes us because we think that humanity is all that's important here in this world. But when we understand there's all of this consciousness around us, all of these sentient beings, all of this air and trees and water and everything has a consciousness, and we all live in harmony. And just, can you imagine what beautiful uh, utopia that's possible to be here on Earth. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I know you guys say, "Wow, Gene, that's a little bit too much," but why not? Why not?
Yeah.
I feel it's possible.
Yeah. This planet is a paradise of abundance. And we are all nature's Valentine. Nature loves us and has created this environment just for us to thrive. And we've forgotten what it's like to be in that relationship. And yet all is forgiven at the instant we step back into that relationship. Right. And once we are exuding love and seeing love reflected back to us, we're going to see it reflected in every direction.
Love is the most powerful force, for sure. And thank you so much, Daphne, for all of your contribution, all of your hard work, all of your beautiful delivery, and helping us all to understand ourselves just a little bit better, just a little bit more in a little different capacity. And I think that, if you listen to this, you might feel a little bit changed in just your awareness. Now that you're aware, maybe you can change a word or two. But hopefully, yeah, we have helped you to learn and to be aware of something. And if not, hopefully it was entertaining.
It's okay if you think it's all crazy. It's fine. The message is still going in.
Just
Yeah.
consider it. Just consider
Yeah.
it. Food for thought. And
Well,
I see Alchemy is here in the flesh, and Amanda Carroll and Salo Stanley. So nice to see you. Amanda Celeste is here, and PK knows best. Sherry M made it, and she says it all resonates. And Shooting Star, thank you all for coming. Just visiting, says congratulations. And
thank
everybody,
you.
please do go on over to Daphne. It is Relax with Daphne on YouTube, and her email. And please do go on over and check out her YouTube channel and connect with her if you are interested. She always has events running. Do you have? She'll tell us. You don't have any other. You do your events on Wednesdays or Fridays?
Yes, on Wednesday night, I do intention meditations using the same technique of beaming out intentions into the quantum field. And I recognize some of my regular meditators in the chat today. Thank you so much for coming and listening. And I invite any of you, if you would like us to meditate to boost whatever it is you're looking for, meeting a partner, getting a job, figuring out a health issue, let us know and we'll meditate for you. I almost always have a slot within the next 2 or 3 weeks. And can I tell you one love story about intention meditation?
Oh yeah, let's do.
We had a young woman who came to us and said, I'm on all the apps. Nothing is happening. I get maybe 1 or 2, hearts or whatever notifications a week. And I really, really, really want to meet someone. So we meditated for her on a Wednesday. And by Friday, she had 100 notifications.
Oh my gosh.
And out of that came someone she has been dating for a couple of years.
Mr. Right. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Well, I don't know if he's Mr. Right, but he sure is good looking. Oh my gosh.
Mr. Right now.
Yeah. So yeah, let us meditate for you. Relaxwithdaphne@gmail.com. Send it over and I'll work with you to phrase it, because there's definitely some tips and techniques for making this work. But by far, the most important thing is to open your heart, raise your vibration, and say, I could have what I want. I could have a Valentine. So thank you, Jean. It's always such a pleasure to hang out with you. And yes, let's talk about plants and flowers more.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful, happy Valentine's. I will be back later today with Scott Scorpio Sun Tarot. We're going to be doing love reading, so please do make sure you come back. It'll be at 4 Eastern, and that's 1 Pacific. So take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again. Bye.